What's going on today, guys? Got a lot to get to today. We're gonna it's June 10th, something like that, 11th. But round 2 fungicides going at it. The weather is right for fungus now. We're finally getting some rain, some humidity. Guaranteed we'll see some examples of brown patch and maybe even some other stuff today on this fescue. I'm hoarse. It's not the coronavirus. I've had my shot. Anyway, we're gonna get at it and we'll talk about what we're running and we'll look at some of the yards. I'll show you some different yards today that I don't usually put in the videos. So stay tuned. It's gonna be just incredible. Get your pen and pad ready. There's just gonna be a wealth of knowledge in this one. So we're gonna get out and get our fungicides down today. Probably most of them earlier in the day. I'm gonna run something like Headway, which is I'm gonna roll my own with 41% propiconazole and azoxystrobin. And we'll see where it goes from there. I think I'm gonna run up on some that are gonna need to be blanket spray with a herbicide. I got a few that we're gonna hit for the first time today. So strap in and let's go. We ran a bunch of different biostimulants on the last round. I actually, going back and looking at some of them, saw some real good things out of the 505 and the silica from Subvert and even the CNOS. So I mean, they all did pretty well. I was impressed. But today we're going to run primarily as an additive in there this liquid fertilizer from Maharan with micronutrients. I'll explain why I want to run a little fertilizer here in a second. I mean, this with being a 1088, I mean, and just running a little bit of it in the spray tank, it's not really going to be pushing growth or changing any soil balances or anything like that. But we're going to be giving the plants a little bit of something, help them recover from damage and keep them going. You don't really want to be putting down nutrients at the rate that are going to promote growth or anything this time of year. We just want to kind of maintain and give them a little something to recover from damage and stress. Got to have some water to make this operation work out. Water. All right, this is gonna take a few minutes. So I'll just wait right here, watch the water run. Yeah. Fungicide treatment down. Spot spraying a little weeds, mostly on the borders, along the edges there. Little creeping Charlie, little dandelions, things like that. Looking pretty good. She's thick. First time here. Got some issues, obviously. Weeds, little fungus happening, bare spot, crabgrass. See what we can do. All right, this is a new customer. It's a really nice fescue lawn. It's a little weedy. I've seen this yard in the past, and it always looks pretty good. I know who had been spraying it, and he always kept it pretty nice. But fungicides, of course, and I got to address these weeds, so I got to think about what I want to do. I don't know if I want to mix SureGuard with Power with a fungicide or not, and this fertilizer I'm getting ready to put on it. Might just 2,4-D it and see what happens. Never really run up on one with weeds like this at fungicide time because I've usually got them all clean by then. So I really don't want to spray propiconazole with the weed control, and I conferred with Matt Martin and he agreed. I'm going to go spray this fungicide tank out on another one and come back with a different load out. Pretty clean on the weed front. Classic signs of brown patch in the backyard, but I'm gonna get her sprayed up. This one is on this creek, and that creek kind of goes up this hill, but the creek will flood, and low spot right here, and you can see that's where this brown patch is locked in. Some pretty good signs of it. This one has not been treated yet. Well, it's treated right now. And there's you some classic brown patch damage. Usually you'll see a little black right where it leads into the brown. I think it's washed off. I'm coming back for the second application on this one. The May treatment seemed pretty darn effective. Got one little spot right there, and he was there when I came the first time, just bigger. So not bad. Got these saplings again. We're gonna take care of them. I remember on the last round I had a bunch of outbreak in here, and I spot sprayed pretty good. Right on the Triumph. Application time, temperatures here are creeping up. It's pretty hot, and I had to spray herbicide on some of them. So some of the first ones I sprayed this morning were a combination 16 ounces of propiconazole and 16 to 24 ounces of azoxystrobin. But now with the hotter temperature and the ones that I mix herbicide with, I'm just spraying straight azoxystrobin at 32 ounce per acre rate. This thing's looking solid. I don't know if the camera's doing it justice. Just a beaut. Don't see any fungus in it. Last round held nice. This one here is across the street from the one I was just showing you. And from the road at a glance, you look at it and say, whoa, dollar spot. That is Poa annua cooking out of it. I did not get the yards in this neighborhood with the Anu this year, and the Poa annua covered them up, man. I made a huge mistake. We're gonna have a strategy for this next year on a lot of these lawns after the shape they saw them in. I think they're gonna go ahead and let me run that looks like dollar spot in this Poa annua. They're gonna go ahead and let me run like a ethylfumicide out around Thanksgiving on them. Turf looks pretty good though. I think this one got the CNOS last time. Herbicides and fungicides will have this frac number on them right here, and this is a combination of different products, so it's going to have 2 on it. But the idea behind let me flip it around. The idea behind rotating these frac codes or combining these frac codes is because that the different frac code means a different mode of action. So combining them or alternating them will reduce your chance of a weed becoming resistant to a certain herbicide or a fungus becoming resistant to if you just spray the same fungicide over and over, it'll eventually find its way around that mode of action. So alternate or combine your mode of actions. I just got this one sprayed. A lot of pine straw in it from where they mowed it. But the turf here looks great. They got it cut nice and tall. It's, solid journey. Just rained when I got through and loaded the old permagreen back up. I spot sprayed some things like this here and there. That's Virginia buttonweed. I spot sprayed them with Sure Power. Nice and green. Now the sun's coming back out, so I guess we'll keep rocking and rolling. See if we can squeeze another few in. Here's the next one. Turf's looking good. I'm seeing a reoccurring theme of a lot of tree nut, acorn seeds popping up. I mean, they're easy enough to kill, but a pre-emergent really ain't gonna help you with that, because that acorn seed is so powerful, it'll break through the pre-emergent. All right, let's get a spray. I'm gonna drop a low rate of 2,4-D ester in with this fungicide app to burn them little saplings out. Like 6 ounces an acre, something like that. All right, here's another new one. This is the first time I've been here. It's kind of thin. I almost wish I had some granular with me. I'd put it on it, but I mean, overall it's not terrible, but it's just no color and a little thin. But I spot sprayed some weeds and got the azoxystrobin on it, and a little 10-8-8 with micronutrients. Maybe that'll boost it up. There we go with the saplings again. Did the testing, spot spraying the Shore Power on the Creeping Charlie. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It laid some waste on that. I'll put the before up. Now this is 7 days right there, so that's some pretty good activity. I've wrapped my day up. I'm back here at PPC Total Turf Labs. Rained a little bit on and off, so I just went ahead and called it a day. I really needed to get to about 30 places today, and I got that 20 something to stay on track. But anyway, so I'm back here gonna grill. Got a pork loin and some fresh new potatoes that a buddy of mine brought me, that his boys are farmers, and he brought me a big cabbage too, and I'm gonna slice that into steaks. I'm gonna throw it on a grill. But I digress. We're not grilling here, we're talking turf. On those that I did today, I mean, the headway combination, I usually like to run about, to get the full rate of headway ish, like 16 ounces of 41% propiconazole and 16 ounces of azoxystrobin. I'll bump the azoxystrobin up sometimes if there is disease present in the lawn. The thing with propiconazole is it's very petroleum-like. So running high rates of that in the summertime, or running that with a herbicide, it is very likely you're gonna set the turf back, and it's got a kind of a growth regulator effect, and it's gonna take it a while to recover from damage. You're gonna knock the color out of it. You might even yellow it up, orange it up. So, excuse me, I've been hitting the nectar of the gods already. Running full rates of propiconazole in the summertime, in the high heat, you can mess up the turf. And some of these today I was going to for the first time. Some of them needed herbicide applications. Usually by this time of the year, I don't, in my fescue yards that I tend to year round, I don't need to run any kind of blanket herbicide application. I can go through and spot spray out my issues. But so, I mean, like I had run up on one today that I do all the time, and the damn acorn seedlings were all in it, and I just sprayed that out. But other than that, I usually don't run up with a lot of weed issues in the fescue in the summertime, because I've addressed it throughout the year. But that's not what we're talking about. All right, but propiconazole is very petroleum-like. It can be hot, it can damage the turf if you apply it in hotter weather, or apply it with a herbicide, that kind of thing. So just be mindful and careful of your propiconazole. It's good. It's a good fungicide, but there's things you got to be cautious of. Always caution in the grass business. I hope you are enjoying that. Every time I come out of the house, there's some animal coming up to me wanting food. Whether it be the ducks, the geese, my cat. And they go to the house, the dog wants something, the kids want something. My grilling cabbage about ready to come off. I already took the pork loin off, it's resting, but in there I got This is Eastern North Carolina fresh grown cabbage and Eastern North Carolina fresh grown new potatoes with garlic butter. I mean, it just looks like a tinfoil log right now, but anyway, we're gonna turn it out and eat dinner. So that's about it. I appreciate you guys watching. I wasn't able to get a video out last week. I've been super crazy busy, but that's just a little update, a little run for today on what we're doing. Fungicides on tall fescue. I'll be running like that every day for a while now to get them in. But I appreciate you guys watching, and shoot me any questions about your fungicide apps and your grilled Eastern North Carolina fresh cabbage you got. But I'm gonna eat and have me some more nectar of the gods and turn in for the night and get up at 5 a.m. and roll it again. All right, guys, thanks. Y'all be good. There's our grilled cabbage from Eastern North Carolina new potatoes, and grocery store pork loin. Jump back. All right, dinner time, people.